A very good afternoon to one and all present here on this webinar, Silverline Prestige School. Welcome all of you to this webinar today. My name is Abhilasha Dangi and I am an educator at Valed Initiatives. A very good afternoon to one and all present here on this webinar, Silverline Prestige School. Welcome all of you to this webinar today. My name is Abhilasha Dangi and I am an educator at Valed. Yes, we're ready to go. So, how are you all today? It's wonderful being with all of you here. And as I said, I'm an educator at Valed Initiatives. Valed Initiatives are pioneers in values education. We're doing our bit in inculcating values in the lives of children through schools and various other projects. So today, as a part of it, it's wonderful to be with all of you to do a session on a wonderful, wonderful value and life skill. So I'm sure all of you are excited, and I am equally excited to be here with all of you. Right now, all of us are on this homecation, isn't it? Yeah, we are all locked in our own houses, and this is the new trend now. This is the new way of traveling. Every year, probably this time, we would go out for a vacation, but this time we are locked up at our houses and we call it the homecation. But at the same time, I really want to appreciate you students who are watching this, because even though there is this lockdown, you are all wonderfully using this time, attending your school classes online and putting in a lot of effort in learning these new skills. You're learning new technology, you're learning a new way of studying, learning a new way of doing your academics, which is really brilliant. I really appreciate the way you students are using this time, this lockdown period. It's very nice. Today, I'm here to speak to you about a much spoken about life skill. Yes, I would say it's much spoken about and much researched topic, but at the same time, it is equally important in each person's life. I want to talk about a resource that gets used up even if you don't use it. You get that right. Yes, I'm talking about a resource that gets used up even if you don't use it. Like you have water, you have electricity, you have any other resource which gets used only when we use it. But today, I'm going to talk about this very different resource that gets used up even if you don't use it. So we have to be very careful about handling this resource. Yes, I'm talking about something that we all have equally. That we all have equally. Would you like to guess what I'm going to talk about? Yes, let me share the screen with you, which will help you to exactly tell me what I'm talking about. Yes, can you see this? And does this help you guess what is it that I'm going to talk about right now? Yes, my dear friends, I'm going to talk about time and time management with all of you. So that's why I said this is something which is very important, and time gets used up even if we don't use it. Even if we don't use it, it keeps passing on, and we can't get one single moment that is lost. We cannot get it back. So that is the importance of time, and today we are here to talk about time and effort management. So welcome you all to this wonderful life skills session. And to begin with, I want to bring before you all this 24-hour concept. Yes, each of us have 24 hours. Am I right? Yes, all of us have just 24 hours each. Whether it is the king, whether it is the subjects, whether it is the common man, whether it is the prime minister of a country, whether it is a rich man, a poor man, anybody, you and I, all of us have 24 hours in a day, isn't it? So these 24 hours are what we have to make or break our lives. So each of us have this time, and each of us have to make the best use of it. Though we have the same amount of time, do we all get the same results out of it? No, right? Because the experience of each one of us of the time we have is different, and the result that we get out of it is also different. Why is that? The time we have is same, but the result we get out of it is different. Why is that? Because everything depends on how we manage our time. Yes, we all have 24 hours, but there is a lot of difference in the way we manage our time, in the way we use our time. That is what is most important. So today we are here to talk about how best to manage our time. At this point, I would like to share with you two really inspiring examples, and you will love to listen to this. Now, who doesn't know our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi? Yes, we are proud to have a Prime Minister like Mr. Narendra Modi. Today, we all know that he has risen from being a tea seller to the Prime Minister of a country. So, did this transition happen just by chance or by luck? No. Did this just happen overnight? No. This happened with a lot of effort. This happened with Mr. Prime Minister using each and every second of his time in the best possible manner. I want to tell you that he has a political career of over 45 years, and he has been the chief minister for 12 and a half years before he has reached this position of being the prime minister of a country. So we see the effort that goes behind becoming the star, the prime minister of a country. Similarly, let me tell you about Usain Bolt, an athlete, and I'm sure you all have heard about him. He has participated in 3 Olympics till date, and a total of the 3 Olympics shows us that he has spent 119 seconds on the field, running on the field, a total of his 100-meter, 200-meter, and 400-meter dash. So, a total of the 3 running he has completed in 3 Olympics is equal to 119 seconds, and the earning he got for this race, for these 3 Olympics, was $120 million. Can you roughly calculate how much he earned per second? Yes, it is about $1 million per second. That is around 7.5 crore Indian national rupees per second. So, did this earning or did this fame of participating in the Olympics happen overnight? Did this happen by chance or by luck? No. This also was the result of the rigorous effort that Usain Bolt put into. He spent 20 years of rigorous training and practice that gave him the stamina and the speed that he used in the Olympics and stunned all of us. So, with these two examples of Narendra Modi and Usain Bolt, I want to bring to you the fact that time, which we all have, is the same, but the way we utilize the time is what is of prime importance, and the kind of effort we put at the right time is of prime importance. Do you think Narendra Modi or Usain Bolt did not have any distractions? They did not have any mood offs, or they did not feel lazy, or they did not want to do anything at any time? Even they are human beings like us, and they would have passed through these phases just like us. But it is all about coming above these laziness and the mood offs and doing your work in the best possible manner. So they have given it their best, and today the world praises them for what they have done. It is now our turn to do such things, isn't it? We all have the capacity to rise to that level, and today is our turn to put our best for time and effort management and reach the top. I would like to share with you a story of a very seasoned and a wise teacher. Once, this teacher went to a class and told his students, "Children, today I'm going to talk to you about something really important." And he removed a huge glass jar and put it on the table. The students were surprised, at the same time curious to know what their professor is going to tell them. So he was trying to tell the students that this glass jar is in front of you. So I'm going to fill it with huge rocks. So he took huge rocks, big stones, and put it into the glass jar one by one. And the glass jar filled till the top. He asked the students, "Is the glass jar full now?" All the students said, "Yes, it is full." So then the professor took out another box, and it had some gravel in it, some pebbles. And he started pouring the gravels into the jar over the rocks. The gravel started filling the gaps which was available in between the rocks and started settling down. He poured the whole bottle of gravel into it and then again questioned the class, "My dear friends, do you think the glass jar is full now?" The half of the class was surprised and silent, but still the other half said, "Yes, sir, it is full now." Now the professor took out another box with sand in it and said, "I'm going to pour this into this jar now." And he started pouring the sand into the jar. The sand also found place in between the rocks and the pebbles and settled down in the jar. Now the professor again repeated his question and asked, "Is the jar full now?" Most of the class remained silent, but there were just one or two who said, "Yes, sir, the jar is full now." The professor did not stop at this and removed a bottle of water and poured it into the jar completely. The water was soaked by the sand, and the jar allowed the water also to stay inside it. The students were all very surprised. It was at that time the professor looked at all of those curious, eager children and said, "If I had poured the gravel first into the jar and then poured the sand and then poured the water, would I be able to fill the rocks into it later?" The whole class unanimously said no. And the professor knew that the students have got the concept right. This is Eat the Frog concept by Brain Tracy, and it clearly shows us that these big rocks are the big tasks that we have in our life, the big goals that we have in our life. The gravel, the sand, and the water are like the few little less important goals that we have in our life, and that can fit in even if we are concentrated towards our bigger goals. So it's always important to prioritize. Through this story, through this concept called Eat the Frog, I want to bring to you this important thing called prioritizing. It's very, very important to first prioritize what are our main goals, what are our sub goals, what are the things that are just for our enjoyment and for our entertainment. So we need to identify what we are doing right now. If we want to correctly prioritize what we are in our lives and what we want to become in our lives, then the first step towards it is self awareness. Yes, in Sanskrit, it is told, Je egam janayi, te sabvam janayi. That means the person who knows the self knows everything. So it is the first step in our time management technique to self-aware, to be self-aware. We need to know what we are doing right now. Yes, my dear students listening to this, you need to know what you are doing right now to make the best use of your time, of whatever time that you have. And how do you know what you are doing right now? How do you know what you're doing right now? How do you know about it? Yes? Are you thinking about it? We can come to know about it by sitting and writing it down. We can write down what we are doing from the moment we wake up till the moment we go to sleep. That is called making a timetable. If we are able to make a concise and precise timetable of what we are doing from the time we wake up, say 8 o'clock in the morning, till the time we go to sleep, say around 9 or 10 at night, each and every activity, we wake up, we get ready, we have breakfast, then we attend our online school sessions, then we do our work, then we enjoy, we play, like we play carom board, we play something else, yeah, whatever interests you, and then we do our work. We also help at home in doing the household tasks, because right now we are all at home, and I'm sure we are all helping in our own way to complete our household work also. That is also a part of our routine. So I would urge you all to even right away, you can take your pen and paper and start writing about what you do from the moment you wake up till the moment you go to sleep. Yes, what does your current day look like? Please make note of this entire day's routine, and that will become your current timetable. That is what you're doing right now. Now, whatever you do today can be broadly classified into four categories. Listen carefully. Whatever you're doing today in these lockdown days, or even in your normal routine, can be categorized into four broad categories, which is called personal, responsibility, enjoyment, and growth. Personal, responsibility, enjoyment, and growth. Personal is things that we spend for our own self, that is personal hygiene, personal well-being. We spend time for that. Enjoyment is when we play, when we enjoy, we play games, we watch social media, we just laze around. That is all enjoyment, because all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, and we don't want to become dull people, right? So we need enjoyment in our lives. And next is responsibility. Can be you attending your classes, doing your work related to your academics, or related to your house, helping your family members. All those are your responsibilities. And growth is where you want to learn something new, you're learning a new skill, you're learning a new art, you're learning a new hobby, you're learning a new sport, anything that develops what you are, that upgrades what you are, is growth, right? So whatever you're doing right now, you make a timetable of it, and then you categorize it into these four main categories, right? This will help you clearly understand how much time is spent in each category. How much time are you spending on personal needs? How much time are you spending in just lazing around or enjoying? How much is the time you're spending in being responsible? How much is the time you are spending in your growth? Growth is a very important word. We are all here to grow every moment, every day, isn't it? Even if we get a small plant in our house, we want it to grow. We want it to grow daily, isn't it? Do we want to just keep it as a plant with us? No, we want to see it growing. We want to see it flowering. We want to see it growing bigger, taller, isn't it? Similarly, even we need to grow every day. So for us to grow, we need to know how to grow. What are the fields where we need to grow? If we grow in just one direction, will we be happy with that? Will that be called complete or holistic development? No. We need to have a multifaceted growth, a growth in all directions and dimensions. So, let me tell you about this beautiful concept of growth. Before that, I will share with you a example of the timetable which you can see, and it will help you in making a timetable for yourself. Okay, I'm sharing this screen now. Can you see this screen? Yes, it says time, activity, and type. In time, we have from 8:30 a.m. I wake up, 8:30 to 9 I read a book. Now that comes under the growth category. 9 to 10 getting ready, 10 to 10:30 breakfast, and it goes on like this. So I have so many categories which show how I am doing my daily work. This is my daily routine. So this example will help you to make a timetable for yourself. And after writing these first two columns, you can go about categorizing it into the growth, personal responsibility, and enjoyment. Right? So this is what I wanted to tell you, that this is the timetable you must surely make for yourself, because this is the route to self-awareness, and self-awareness is the route to utilizing our time in the perfect way. So we were talking about growth. Growth is divided into broadly 6 categories. Okay, this is really important, and I would like you all to listen to this carefully, because this will help you assess which category you need development in and which category you already have in yourself. Yes, so growth is broadly classified into these 6 categories, and it is the personal growth, the physical growth, the professional or say academic growth, the emotional and mental growth, social growth, and the spiritual growth. These are the 6 categories that we broadly divide it into. Personal is when we learn something new, that we call it as personal growth. Our physical growth is when we exercise, when we keep ourselves healthy, when we eat healthy, we slowly develop those habits, then we call it our physical growth. And professional or academic, say if there is anything that you want to learn, or if there is any subject which you are weak and you want to develop some new way of learning it, of learning a new thing in your academic thing, then you can put it under your academic growth. Social growth is where you talk about relationships. Yes, when you have this lockdown period, you have a lot of time to spend at home. So what is your kind of relationship with your parents? How you talk to them, how you relate with them, are you able to share with them, are you in touch with your extended family, do you call up your friends, cousins, and be in touch with them? Also, are you doing some kind of important social work, like in these lockdown times you can do a lot to help the people who are not doing so well. So if that kind of thing you are introducing in your routine, then that is your social growth. Yes, when we are talking about mental and emotional growth, we talk about how we tackle situations or how we tackle our emotions. Like, for example, if we are feeling sad, are we comfortable enough sharing our feelings with our parents, our siblings, with our friends, or do we at least write it down in a diary about what we feel? And I can say, maybe, if you're angry or something, are you able to manage that emotion? How do you show it? How do you control it? Or how do you calm yourself when you're angry? So these emotional things, when you control, it is your emotional and mental growth. And talking about spiritual growth, my dear friends, India is a spiritual country, and we have different definitions of being spiritualistic here. So it depends on what we feel. If someone feels doing meditation is called being spiritual, then they can do so. If for someone it might be performing an act of puja, which can be their spiritual act, so they can go ahead with it. And for someone, just being aware of what they are, of how they behave with others, are they people of values, are they people of truth and humanity, that is what they call spirituality. So each one has a different definition, and they go by their definition of spirituality. So that is also spiritual growth. So I have given you short explanation of what these different growth categories can mean, and we need to develop in each and every category to have a balance, to have a balanced growth, isn't it? To have a balanced growth, we need to categorize and understand. Now, when you divide your timetable into the four main categories, you need to find out how much time you're spending on each and every category. How much time are you spending on enjoyment? How much time are you spending on being your attending your personal needs? How much time on growth and how much on responsibility? Once you come to know, once you become aware of how much time you're spending on each category, then you can reduce or increase the time to make your day look very balanced, right? So once you are aware of what you're doing right now and how much time it is consuming, then you can take the help of your parents or even do it yourself. Or you can also, have a buddy. You all have friends, and it is always easier to share with friends, isn't it? So when we need help with our growth, like if you want to see that your friend has a skill and you want to develop it, like learning a new language, then you can ask your friend to teach it to you, isn't it? It becomes easy to mutually learn something. I always say that if I have a coin and you have a coin, and if we exchange the coin, how much do we have? One coin again. Same way, if I have a thought and you have a thought, and we both exchange our thoughts, then what do we have? We have two thoughts each, isn't it? So, if we exchange our thoughts, if we exchange our skills, if we teach each other something, we will be learning something new. Yes, so it's always nice to teach what you know to others and to learn what others know from them. This builds our social growth also, and also it can be very useful for us to learn something new. So once we start finding out how much time we are spending on each category, then we need to balance it and find out which is the category we are lacking, and we need to introduce that skill in our timetable. We need to introduce that category in our timetable. Now tell me something. If you are doing a painting every day, if you are doing a painting every day, like you have a book and you are painting every day one painting each, what is that? That is enjoyment or that is growth? Okay, so if you are just painting a picture every day, then I would call it enjoyment. At the same time, with each picture, if you are learning a new stroke, a new way of painting it, if you are improvising it every day, then it is called learning a new skill. It falls in the growth category then. Yes, so it is a very beautiful way of finding a balance between enjoyment and growth. Your enjoyment can also become your growth if you learn something in the same thing every day. Like, for example, you have your school assignments. That is your responsibility, isn't it? You're all doing your school assignments. That is your responsibility. It falls in that category. But while you're doing your assignments, if you are trying to do it in a different way every time, if you learn something new, try to do it in a new way, learning a new thing while adding to your assignments, then that can be categorized under your growth because you're learning something new. We are all, how much ever old we become, we can all always learn because learning always keeps us young. So I would like to tell you that there is a balance between growth and your other categories. So you can make your enjoyment also become your growth. You can make your responsibility also become your growth. So now that you know, that you are aware what I am, you have a timetable on hand. Now, after becoming aware, just by making a timetable, will you be able to be successful? Only if you make a timetable and keep it will we become successful. No. What do we need to do? Work on it. Yes, we need to take action. Action is a very important word here. Yes, we need to take action on the timetable that we have prepared, on the goals that we have set. It is very easy to say that I want to become this, I want to become a big cricketer, I want to become a famous person. But how does it happen? It happens only when we take action, only when we work towards it. Productivity is what is important, and productivity doesn't come by chance. It comes by really hard efforts that are put in. It comes by intelligent planning. It comes by meticulous action taken. So we all need action to bring about the change in our lives. Yes, we all need some change, and that change can be brought about by taking action. We cannot just sit idle waiting for things to happen on their own. I cannot say I have made a timetable and now it is going to work for me. I have a perfect timetable with me and it is going to work for me. It doesn't work that way. We need to take action. We need to work to make it happen. Friends, I would like to share with you a story which is a very interesting one. There was once a crippled fox in the forest, and once a man happened to pass by that forest and he saw the crippled fox sitting there and waiting for something. So the man was curious and he was completely concentrating on the fox and waiting over there. At that time, he saw a huge wild lion walked into the forest near the fox with a prey in its mouth. Yes, the tiger had a prey in its mouth and it came there quite close to the fox and started eating its prey. Once the tiger had to its fill, the tiger was full and then he left the remaining part of the prey and walked away from there. The crippled fox happily jumped down the cliff and started eating the remaining leftover meat. The crippled fox was very happy that I got my fill without working for it. And it again went back and sat. The man who was seeing this was really excited and thought, if God can take care of a crippled fox, God will surely take care of me as well. So he went home, shut the doors, and sat inside there and started waiting for God to come and give him the food, the water, the necessities that he needs. He decided not to work for anything that he wants in life. He knew that God is there to come and help him. There will be someone that God will send, and all his needs, his requirements will be fulfilled. So he waited there, he stayed there for days, for weeks. And when he got really, really weak, he was not even able to get up. At that time, an angel appeared and asked him a question. Why did you decide to imitate the crippled fox? You have all the ability, you have a good body, you have a sharp mind, and you have the ability and capacity to do all your work on your own. Why did you decide then to imitate the crippled fox of the forest? The man was silent, and the angel said, God is with you, but God is not working for you. God helps those who help themselves. You need to work for what you want. When we want food, do we go to food or the food comes walking to us? If we want education, do we go to education or the education comes walking to us? We go, right? So it is always important for us to take the first step, for us to move forward and show interest that yes, I want to do something. And that is when the whole universe works to help us to achieve that goal. Believe you deserve it, and the universe will serve it. Yes, we need to believe in what we want. We need to work for what we want. And that is when God or any other power will help us in getting what we want. So at this point, I would like to ask you one question, friends. Do you want to become the crippled fox, or you want to become the giving tiger? Of course, I'm sure all of you must be thinking that you want to become the giving tiger. And that is right. We have the ability to become the giving tiger. We need to earn and learn and grow and also give to the people around us. So, coming back to our growth category, we need to do a good research and find out what we need, where we are lacking, and which is the field where we need to step up. It's okay if we are not at a good mark in a particular category. Say for example, if you are not good in academics, or for example you are not good in your social growth, so that is perfectly okay. This is the time you need to identify and start growing in that field. Any goal that we have, we must try to make it smart. What is smart? SMART is an acronym, and I can explain it to you. SMART is being specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Let me share this picture with you, which will give you a very easy idea of what SMART is. Yeah. So can you see this? SMART is specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-based. Each of our goal should be smart. We need to have a goal that is specific. We cannot say, I just want to become a famous person. We need to identify specifically what is it that we want to learn, what is it that we want to become. and it should be measurable. Measurable in the sense that we need to find out how much time we are going to spend on each goal, or if the goal is big, can be divided into sub goals and find out how much time we will be spending on each sub goal. The goal should be actionable. That means we need to have a specific way of putting our goal into action. For example, if I want to learn keyboard, then my action is I will practice keyboard. I will practice it live on the keys. Yes, our goals should be realistic. Our goals should be realistic in the sense that we should, if we feel that our goal is big, we need to divide it into smaller parts and make it realistic and achievable in a particular time set. Yes, like for example, if I can achieve this in one day, I can achieve this in 1 week, and our goal should be time based. It is always good to have a time based goal because it helps us. Okay, when we say I want to learn keyboard in the next 2 months, then we are sure enough that okay, the next 2 months I am going to concentrate on learning my keyboard skills. When I say I want to become a good public speaker, I want to overcome the fear of public speaking, then I need to practice it each and every day. Say I will practice my speech for 30 minutes every day in front of my parents and friends. So that makes it specific, isn't it? Where will I practice it? When will I practice it? At what time? And for what time period? We need to set it and make it so specific that we can easily follow it. This preparation of a smart goal gives us an edge over the others. Friends, is there lack of people who are talented in this world? No. Is there lack of geniuses in this world? No. Is there lack of people who are educated in this world? No. We have many people who are talented, who are genius, who are educated. But there are many talented people who have been unsuccessful. There are many geniuses who have been unrewarded. And there are many people who are educated but could not make the best of their education. Why does this happen? Simply because they are not able to make their goals into specific ones, simply because they are not able to stick to what they have decided. The essence, the main formula, or call it the key, is consistency. We have to be very, very consistent. Let me share this with you. Yes, consistency is the key. We need to be very, very consistent if we want to win, if we want to succeed. It's very important to be consistent. Can you see this picture? This person is trying to fill his bucket of success, but how can he do it? He can do it with consistency. Simple. A person who consistently fills his bucket will have success. Friends, just imagine, for example, I tell you that it is not good to eat sugar. And I give you reasons and examples of what harm sugar can do to your body. So you will listen to me and feel, okay, sugar is not good. And then I suggest to you that you stop eating sugar. So, say most of you stop eating sugar. A few of you do it for a week or so, and then you feel that it's not showing any big change on your body, and you again start getting back to your normal usage of sugar. But there are a few people who stick to that habit consistently and keep following it. They don't eat sugar for, say, a month, for 6 months, for a year. And I bet that these are the people who see the effect of not eating sugar on their health. Similarly, if you have a goal, if you have a aim, and if you are consistent towards it, if you have persistence to face failure and still be consistent, then you can reach your goal and you will be among the top 1%. Have you heard about the 1% club and the 99% club? Yes, it is not easy to reach that top 1% without this key called consistency. So, if we want to fill our bucket with the water of success, then we have to be consistent. We have to repeat. We have to repeat even if we fail. I repeat, repetition is the mother of all skills. Any skill that we have is small, but if we have the skill of repetition, then that I call as the mother of all skills. We need to repeat our activities every single day. And for consistency, I cannot give you better example than our sports persons. Yes, everybody wants to become the Virat Kohli of cricket, or the Sachin Tendulkar of cricket, or the PV Sindhu. So all these people want to become famous cricketers or famous sports person, but do we watch the kind of effort, the kind of practice they do day in and day out to reach there? It's important to see what is behind the scenes rather than what we see on screen. We need to see the kind of effort that they put backstage. So, I again want to urge you all that consistency is the key to success. We need to keep repeating. And at this point, I can also affirm my point of consistency by giving you a small but very effective example. There was an author by the name Stephen King, and he wanted to write, he wanted to become an author. So, he started writing. When he started writing, he started receiving many negative comments for his writing. What he did was he put a small nail in his room and started pinning all those negative comments onto that nail. He said that if I keep reading those negative comments, it will give me the motivation that I need to improve myself. I am still yet to improve. I have to work more. He started feeling it and he started pinning all his negative comments onto that nail. As he grew and he was still writing and still receiving the negative comments, the nail becomes smaller to handle the weight of the negative comments that he was receiving. So what he did, he took a bigger spike and put it in his wall and started again pinning the negative remarks that he was receiving for his writing until he could finally write his book. So, what do you call this? If we receive so many negative comments for anything that we are doing, or if we face failure, what would we do? We would say, it's okay, this is not my cup of tea, let me just give up. Giving up is not the answer. Consistency is. Consistency is the answer to reaching the success where you want to reach. So, here I want to urge you all that once you have made your timetable, once you have identified what are the fields which require attention, then start working on it and be consistent. My dear friends, life is like a bicycle. We have to keep riding it. It is like a journey, it doesn't stop. Time also doesn't stop, and life also doesn't stop. So, why should our efforts stop? We shouldn't stop them too. We need to keep working, but the only point is we just don't have to keep working, we have to work in the right direction. That is why we have prepared this timetable to give us the right direction, the right sense that okay, this is the direction I lack in, this is the direction I am good at. So I have to create a balance and start working so that I reach my goal within this time period. Yes, so make your goals really achievable, because as you achieve your goals, you are going to feel more and more happy, more and more successful. So let me share this one more screen with you. Yeah. So this is time management, where you have a task, you know what to do, you have your priorities set, like we decided, right? Which will be our big rocks, which will be our sand, which will be our gravel, which will be our water. We need to decide what our priorities are, and then start working on it. Start working on it is your project, and always work according to your plan. That is your SMART goals. You have decided your SMART goals, right? They have to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. And then achievement is not far away if you follow your plan this way. This is another screen that I want you all to see, which is very beautifully shown that time management has a few tips, like set your goals correctly, prioritize wisely, set a time limit, take breaks between tasks. Okay, now these breaks are the enjoyment that we have. I told you, right? No play and all work can make Jack a dull boy. So we need some entertainment. We can use our social media too, but friends, there is a difference in using it and getting addicted to it, right? So if we know that we are using it a lot, then we need to take help from our parents or from our friends, or we need to be self-determined to come out of that addiction. Be it anything, we need to take breaks and use it effectively. Organize yourself, remove non-essential tasks, plan ahead, and again start working. Yeah, so these pictures really motivate us again to do our bit very beautifully. And yeah, so we need to understand that in this whole session, we have really a few, five or six beautiful things that we have learned today, that we all have 24 hours in our life, and our success depends on how well we use those 24 hours that we have. So we all need to become aware of our strengths, our weaknesses, about what our routine is, where we are spending more time, where we are not spending time at all. So create a timetable, prioritize your works, see where the timetable lacks, then make a new one with your growth requirements. Okay, after you have a final timetable, now you need to start working on it, take action on it. And taking action doesn't mean working on it a day or two. I said stick to it, stick to your plan, and success will come, greatness will follow if you stick to your plan. So that is consistency. And in between, we will surely have a few distractions. We might feel like doing our enjoyments more, playing our games more, but what is important is our self determination. We need to be determined to not procrastinate. Yes, procrastination is the big devil that stands on all of us and scares us, because we always postpone. Yes, I will not do this today, I will not do this now, I will do it in the evening, I will do it tomorrow morning. No, these are the ones that pull us behind. Let us be little strong, little determined, and start working on things, not procrastinating. My dear friends, these values and skills make us really good people and help us to come up in life and upgrade ourselves, have that one up on the other person, and start becoming successful and happy people. It was so much fun, and a big learning for me to be with all of you on this webinar. And I sign off with the hope that all of you have surely enjoyed what we learned today. And I urge you once again towards the end of the session to surely make that timetable. And if we happen to meet again, then we will surely share our timetables with each other and see how much we have become self-aware and smart. Thank you so much for being here, and I enjoyed being with all of you. Thank you.